Alzheimer's is just such a terrible disease. It just robs people of their own personality. There's nothing worse than Alzheimer's disease for both the patient and for the family. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, our lab and other labs found the first Alzheimer's genes, and we came up with 4 of them. In the turn of the century, it became apparent that there was this perfect storm of information from the Human Genome Project, new technologies, gene chips that said, hey, we can really make a dent now to find the rest of the Alzheimer's genes. And we knew that about 70% of the puzzle was unsolved. This is when I first got together with the founders of Cure Alzheimer's Fund. And we got together and said, we can do this. We can put up the funds and find the rest of these genes, because right now, for the first time in 2004, 2005, the technology, everything's there to do it. In phase 3 of the Alzheimer's Genome Project, we're sequencing the entire genome with the goal of finding not just the genes that matter, but every single little variation in the DNA of those genes and the DNA around those genes that matter for this disease. This is the ultimate genetic experiment because we're leaving no base uncovered in the human genome. Every little bit of information we get from every gene and every variation we find in the genome will then be used to understand the disease better and, most importantly, guide new drug discovery. The cost of the project is about $3 million just to get the DNA sequences. But then there's a big cost in terms of storing those data, analyzing those data. We're generating 0.5 petabyte of data. Okay, a petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. For every human genome, we're going to have a terabyte hard drive, 1,500 of them. And we have to store these data somewhere. These are challenges that no one's faced before. We're breaking new ground at every level with this project. Our goal is to stop this disease, to eradicate it, just like we eradicated polio. Don't let it exist anymore. Using our roadmap, we'll be able to predict who's at risk early on, and most importantly, empower them with the ability to prevent this disease from striking in the first place, based on their genetic risk. We're getting there. We have the genes identified, we have means for early detection, and the genes are teaching us how to create drugs that will prevent this disease. I believe this will happen in the next 10 to 15 years. We, Cure Alzheimer's Fund, won't stop until the job is done.